Playing.
Montreal's playing Buffalo.
Good evening and welcome to the Monday, May 18th, 2026 edition of the Lake Forest City Council. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Certainly. Honorable Mayor Ted.
Here.
Alderman Novit.
Here.
Alderman Clements.
Here.
Alderman Powers.
Here.
Alderman Kerr. Here. Alderman Levert.
Here.
Alderman Bosfeld.
Here.
Alderman Walder.
Here.
Alderman Culberson.
Here.
Mr. Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Very good. Okay, we're going to try and move quickly. We have a lot of things tonight. We are going to begin with comments by Mayor. We'll start with a presentation concerning the America 250th Lake Forest celebration. This will be presented by Mike Wick, Director of Parks and Rec, and Era Goshgarian, Chairman of the Resident Advisory Group. Alderman Goshgarian.
Former Alderman Goshgarian.
Dr.
Thank you. Mayor Tack, members of the City Council, thank you for having me here. As we all know, this is the 250th celebration of our country's birth, and I think everybody out here might find some fun stuff to do. Mayor, first I want to thank City Manager for convening the advisory group, kind of a long-standing tradition, and I'd like to specifically acknowledge them. Mark Gorman, integral member, Jackie Greca, a wonderful help, Steve Hill, huge amount of institutional memory, Adam Mancuso, Jeff Urso, and my bestest friend and the indefatigable Debbie Saran, who has been really pivotal in this group. We started meeting a few months ago trying to come up with some ideas about what can make this memorable and what would make this really a special occasion for our city, as it is for all communities across the country. What we have, and I'm gonna piggyback this with Mike Wick and let him get into some greater detail, is really we've had a community outreach and community participation with multiple groups throughout our community, and it's really been a fun and enjoyable task. Hopefully, residents, you will get one of these in the mail. I got mine yesterday. If you look at it, it's a good guide as to what's going on. There are community events, but these are the ones specifically that the city is doing. We have put together, I think, a really great program on the city side. I'm going to have Mike come up here in a second. But starting off the Independence Day weekend, on July 2nd, as often as the case, we have concerts in the square up in Market Square, but in conjunction with that, showcasing the wonderful work that was done on Bank Lane. We are going to do Bites on Bank. So there's going to be the concert there, but with the Bites on Bank, which is going to be 15 of the purveyors in town, we're going to have Lake Forest High School's own Liam Sheridan playing music for us also. The 15 restaurants, purveyors in town, I'm going to run through them very quickly. Authentico, Deer Path Inn, Duffer's Pub, Elua Farm, Gerhardt's, that's good. Lake Forest Food and Wine, that's even better. Le Colonial, Left Bank, Lake Forest Juice Shop, Oaken Bistro, Once Upon a Bagel, Rosati's, Lake Forest, Snowy Shaved Ice Cream, Fresh Market, and the Gallery. These are community members that are going to participate in this, and it should be really an enjoyable event. Imagine Taste of Lake Bluff. Well, we got Bites on Bank, and ours is going to be really fun. So hopefully it'll be an inaugural event, and there's enough interest where people will want to do this annually and move forward. On Friday, we have a really great event planned down at Elua Farm. It's a ticketed event, and there are only 150 tickets, and I understand almost a third of them are already gone, and I think it's gone live about a week ago. So if you're interested, it's farm fare, it's farm to table. Wonderful chef down there. Chef Lee has put together a really excellent menu. It's definitely driven to the adult side of things. We're going to have music. It's done family style, but in a 4th of July theme. It's going to be down at Elwa Farm that night. There will be remote parking, which will be from the Lutheran Church, which is typically what we do, and people will shuttle in. It will be a really wonderful evening, and hopefully, and as it says, refined Americana cuisine and live outdoor cooking by Chef Lee. It'll be a really enjoyable event. I'm excited to go. I think it will be wonderful. Which brings us to the next component, and I think, you want me to keep going? All right. Will be Saturday, the 4th of July. Now, we all know what we do over at Deer Path, and it's really a fun event. It's going to go from 5 to 10. A lot of the same, but enhanced. So one of the things that's going to be enhanced is our fireworks display, which is going to be great. So we're making it a little bit longer, but far more robust. And so I can promise all the kids that they're going to love it. Our mainliner is going to be the Freddie Jones Band, which actually has a pretty big following. So we're anticipating a great show. Who's going to be the warm-up band?
Fletcher Rockwell.
Fletcher Rockwell, which actually has their own following. So we're kind of anticipating a very big turnout. Even though it's on a Saturday, which traditionally it tends to be a lower attended one, we actually know it's going to be very, very well attended. There's going to be things for the kids to do there also, so it's really a family event. And that brings us up to, and by the way, for the fireworks, there is a ticketed charge for that too, which they've done in the past. But what do they cost, Mike? $25. So it's a lot of fun. And then that brings us to Sunday. It's going to be done in conjunction with the American Legion Post. Sunday, we're going to have an ice cream social. So I saw some faces look over at me. The ice cream social is going to start at 11 and while supplies last, but they're going to have a bunch of different ice creams. And my suggestion is get down there, enjoy the day, have some free ice cream, and enjoy the whole week or the weekend. Noteworthy is we're partnering with the American Legion Post, which is going to be kind of a kickoff into our next event, which is not sponsored by us, but Lake Forest Day. And so the Legion will be down there helping with that, some educational stuff. I believe they're going to do their raffle tickets, which is one of their main drivers for funding their Legion activities. And we're really looking forward to it. And we're really grateful for them to participate because the American Legion is kind of overworked and underpaid. Well, they're not paid at all. So we're really grateful that they've agreed to participate in that and allow us to kind of pivot on through to one of my favorites, has been my whole life, is Lake Forest Day. As I said, you can attend any or all of them. I'm going to go to all of them. I hope I see many of you there, at least at one, if not all. And this should really be a very, very fun weekend. So, Mayor Tack, I know you have a very busy day meeting, and I see a lot of beaming faces. So I'm going to turn it over to Mike, and then does anybody have any questions? Hearing none? Thank you, Mayor. All right, very good.
Mike, are you going to speak?
I will speak very briefly just to remind everyone that our website is the best place to get the information. So cityoflakeforest.com /America250. As Chair Goshgarian mentioned, the postcard should be in your mailbox this week. And we really encourage you to buy tickets if you're going to plan to attend, especially with the Elwa dinner. There's limited capacity. With the Festival and Fireworks on the 4th, the tickets do increase on June 20th. So plan ahead, get a discount, buy your tickets early, and we're looking forward to a great night, great weekend.
Very good. Thank you. All right, we will move on to the next item before the big event. The next item on the agenda is the appointments and reappointments to boards and commissions. This is a fairly long list, so I'll try and move through it quickly. All right, we start with Mike Slover, Audit Committee. John Poth, Audit Committee, appointment. Joy Laracy, appointment as chair, and Robert Nolan, reappointment. Building Review Board, Todd, and I apologize if I pronounce this wrong, Pook, appointment. Cemetery, Debbie Saran, appointment. Maddie Dugan, appointment. Gorton Board, Tom Phineas, appointment. Historic Preservation Commission, John Norkus, appointment as chair. Bridget Hutchin, appointment. Hector Hernandez, appointment. Elizabeth Dalliere, reappointment. Jeffrey Hansen, reappointment. Croya, Christine Carr, reappointment as chair, 1 additional term. Katie Donovan, reappointment. Megan Carney, reappointment. Ann Kiesling, reappointment. Library Board, Edward Cragwell, appointment. William Parthon, appointment. And Emily Van Bell, reappointment. Plan Commission, Stuart Dixon, appointment. Senior Resource Commission, Dennis Herman, appointment. Mark Duarte, reappointment as chair. Zoning Board of Appeals, Jay Suave, reappointment, and Patrick Marshall, reappointment. May I have a motion to approve the appointments and reappointments?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. The next item says I'm supposed to announce my city council committee appointments. I don't remember them all. Do you have a list? We can go past that one. All right, very good. We'll move past that and we'll go to comments by city manager.
Thank you, Mayor and members of City Council. Good evening. I have one item under my report, and I think it's the reason pretty much everyone is in the room here tonight. We're really excited to welcome everybody to the council chambers. This is one of the more enjoyable events that we have every year here at City Hall. It's an opportunity to recognize the talented youth in our community and their artistic abilities, all made possible through the Deer Path Art League and their Emerging Artist Program. And so we're very proud to be able to display and honor all of the students who were recipients this year, and to walk through the list of recipients and to talk a little bit about the program. I'd like to welcome Rosalind Doan, the Executive Director of the Deer Path Art League.
Hello, everybody. The Deer Path Art League has been serving the community for the past 71 years by promoting interest in the visual arts through our interactive events and classes. Our Emerging Artists event is becoming a hallmark of that effort. What better way to promote the arts in our community and surrounding areas than through developing appreciation and participation from an early age? No, that's not the right one. There we go. The Emerging Artists event showcases and celebrates the young artistic talent in our community from kindergarten through high school. The stores throughout Market Square have graciously allowed the exhibit to be displayed in their windows. This year we are proud to have 13 schools and almost 175 young people represented in our annual installation. It is wonderful to see how vested and talented our youth are. We are excited to see what the future holds for them. Today we are proud to present the 19th annual Emerging Artist Blue Ribbon winners. So, is everybody? So. From Cherokee Elementary with teacher Lisa Vladmis, Hunter Polako. There you go. Polako. Go up here and this nice gentleman. Rocket McClintock. Ryan Timpone. Everett Elementary with teacher Rachel McKelvey. Annie Albers. Oh, wait. Back.
Fix their collar.
Now
Noel Moran. Nicholas Scolaro. Lake Bluff Elementary with Jamie Glover. Dylan Rosnack. Not here, okay. Hattie Lewicki. Nope. No Hattie either. Maddie Moss. Woo. Oh, very bedazzled. School of St. Mary's Primary Grade Center, Bridget Helleran. Ben Manning. Uh-oh. Well, she said they were in order. Do you have Ben Manning?
This is Ben Manning.
There you go.
All right.
Layla Dong. Lena Dewar. Sheridan Elementary, Laura Lederer. Oh, well, no, that Laura Lederer is the teacher. Then I'm, Elle Scheiber. Okay. Marilyn Hypes. Oh, too many? Okay. Hold on. No, that's right. I'm sorry. Marilyn Hartman. That's an error. Sorry. Wells Hypes. East Lake Academy, Judy Trznowski. Andrea Vella. Gabriela Romero. Milan Zhang. Lake Forest Country Day School, Rhonda Varden-Darren and Mark Bernardi. Logan Butterbaum. Nathaniel O'Donnell. William Brown. Deer Path Middle School, Michelle Patch and Teresa Fontana. Emma Cherry. Jane O'Brien. Maggie Yakes. Lake Bluff Middle School teacher Janet Engel Julian. Deja Williams. I'm not sure how many of the older kids are going to be here. Jojo Helmer. Kyle Abrams. School of St. Mary's Upper Grade Center, Wendy Aitram. Ben Meal. No. Diane Chang. Not that either. Sophia Bauma. Lake Forest Academy teacher Laura Fowler. Chase Martin. Evie Miller. Heidi Freeman. Lake Forest High School teachers Carolyn Bielski, Jennifer Thomas, Maddie Brueggemann, Papa George, and Ellen Herget. Claire Wright. Eliza Stutz. Carmen Lamartin. Woodlands Academy, Justin Go and Deborah McHale. Maya Whiteman. Morgan Matthey. Sophia Patino. And here we go. Here's everybody again for the mayoral awards from 2026. Am I supposed to go? So thank you for joining us all this evening. Thank you for joining us all this evening for the Emerging Artist Mayoral Awards. We love all the participation we've had for this event and how it brings the community together. Please join us as well for our annual art fair on the square on September 6th and 7th, 2026. This event incorporates not only professional artists, but our young artist division as well. We would love to have everyone under the age of 18 years old to apply for that event as well. Please contact me for applications. Have a good evening.
Thank you, guys.
And you are all welcome to stay for the rest of our meeting if you would like.
Mass exodus after your
Yep. Yep. And the too cool for school list was pretty. There they are. All right, we are back. The next item on the agenda is opportunity for citizens to address the council. Is there anyone present who would like to address the council on non-agenda items? Oh, there is one. Come on up. You know the routine.
Hey, welcome. Thank you, Mayor and council members. Couple of quick things. I've been following House Bill 1429, and it's still in committee, but my concern is they have almost 900 pro votes and only 93, as of this evening, only 93 against. Now, the majority of the 93 against are towns and cities and whatnot. So I encourage everyone to vote on this, putting in a witness slip. So that's the end of that one. Oh, and then there's a new trend in Chicago that I'm sure will come out here, where the ferals are driving up to police and fire and pointing guns. And I know it probably won't be tolerated here, but there's shields that we're using a shield wrap around the new police station, right? There are shields that go around your windows now that don't affect your ability to lower and raise the car windows. So I just kind of wanted to know if people were thinking about that or saying, you know, just kind of an idea. The other thing is, wanted to thank Public Works. They went off They helped again in another wonderful way, and Parks and Recs with the wonderful new beach passes again. So Poly Positive at it again. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much. I'm assuming the bill you're referring to is the Build Illinois issue? Build Illinois, is that what you're referring to? Oh, okay, different one. Okay. All right, thank you. All right, anyone else present that would like to address the council? Seeing none, we'll move on. The next item is committee reports, of which there are none this evening. We will move on to items for omnibus vote consideration, of which there are 11. I'll read all the items at the end. If there are any items that the alderman would like removed or taken separately, please let me know. Item 1, approval of Monday, May 4th, 2026 City Council meeting minutes, first and second sessions. Item 2, approval of a resolution of appreciation for retiring members of boards and commissions as follows. Audit Committee, Mark Dillon. Building Review Board, Sally Downey. Cemetery Commission, Robert Warabo. Croya Board, Kristen Weisberg. Gorton Board, Mike Slover. Library Board, Joanne Desmond and J.J. Johnson. Historic Preservation Commission, Lloyd Culbertson, Chairman, and Robin Pettit. And Plan Commission, James Moorhead. Item 3, approve the purchase of Starcom radios, equipment, and programming in the amount of $48,056.89 for the fire department from state bid vendor Motorola Solutions. Item 4, approval of a VM backup and recovery annual maintenance for fiscal year 2027 from Heartland Business Systems in the amount of $89,000. Approve the purchase of structural firefighting turnout gear for the fire department from Conway Shield in the amount not to exceed $33,401. Item 6, authorization to dispose of city surplus property to the highest bidders via Obenauf Auction Service Incorporated. Item 7, approval of Public Works Committee recommendation to purchase 2,700 tons of road salt from Compass Minerals America in the amount of $259,686 for the fiscal year 2027 winter season. Item 8, approval of fiscal year 2027 sanitary sewer lining program with Her Construction Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $125,000. Item 9, approval of recommendation from the Public Works Committee to award of bid for the Recreation Center rooftop HVAC unit replacements project to Cahill Heating in the amount of $41,600 to include a 10% contingency in the amount of $4,160 for a total cost of $45,760. Item 10, approval of a recommendation from the Parks and Rec Committee to award a bid for the Deer Path Golf Course Irrigation Pump Station Replacement Project to MCI Flowtronics in the amount of $128,628 to include a 10% contingency in the amount of $12,872 for a total cost of $141,500. And finally, item 11, consideration of ordinances approving recommendations from the Building Review Board for 725 Broadsmore Drive, 300 Majestic Oak Court, and 340 Majestic Oak Court. First reading and if desired by council, final approval. Are there any items that the alderman would like removed or taken separately? All right. Hearing none, may I have a motion to approve the omnibus items as presented?
So moved.
Second.
This will be a roll call vote.
Alderman Powers.
Aye.
Alderman Fair.
Aye.
Alderman Levert.
Aye.
Alderman Bothfeld.
Aye.
Alderman Walden.
Aye.
Alderman Culbertson.
Aye.
Alderman Novit.
Aye.
Alderman Clements.
Aye.
8 yeas, 0 nay. Motion carries.
Okay, very good. The next item is old business, of which on to new business. First item is approval to execute an agreement for migration to BSNA Cloud Enterprise Resource Planning System in the amount of $169,785. This will be presented by Burrell.
Good evening, Mayor.
Good evening.
City Council. Thank you for having me this evening. I wanted to do a little bit of a rehash over BSNA Cloud, which is what we talked about in the fall, as well as provide a little bit of a timeline and, as you mentioned, seek approval for next steps for our BSNA Cloud upgrade. So we'll give a little bit of a background again.
Sure.
BSNA is our comprehensive enterprise resource planning system, our software that we use internally with the city. It's used by all city staff members in some capacity for financial planning, for budgeting, for payroll, human resources module, things like that. It's by far our most used software that we have in the city, our most critical software that we have, which is why we're here before you today to talk about this software and how we can progress it moving forward. Like I mentioned, all city departments use this, including the library, for payroll and timesheet purposes. It really does support a wide range of administrative functions and provides a lot of resources for us when we're doing our budgeting process, when we're doing our paying of invoices. Very simple things, but very crucial to the operation of the city as a whole. We currently utilize the desktop version of BSNA. It was originally released in the early 2000s, and we implemented it about 8 years ago in 2018. And as we've gone along with it, it's become increasingly less reliable in terms of the desktop version, and I'll get into why that is here in the next slide. About 3 years ago, we identified an upgrade to BSNA Cloud as one of our key innovative growth initiatives in our IT strategic plan. We put together a group of internal staff to do an evaluation of the different use cases and workflow possibilities for BSNA Cloud. We came up with approximately 35 to 40 of those use cases and sat down with City Manager Wisha and presented those options, at which point we recommended moving forward with the upgrade to BSNA Cloud to get it into our budget cycle, which City Manager Wisha approved at that time. BSNA's cloud platform was originally released in 2021. There are approximately 100 to 150 municipalities across the country which are currently on the system, with another 300 or 400 in their queue to do that upgrade. They are currently moving all of their customers that are willing and able to move to cloud. Most of their ongoing development and function internally with BSNA has been moving towards supporting the cloud and not supporting the desktop version, which is what we have, which is what we implemented about 8 years ago. We've noticed reduced support from BSNA in regards to the desktop version because of their focus being very solely on the cloud version. In terms of features, I'm not going to go over all 35 or 40 use cases and things that we identified, but I wanted to hit on the major ones, the top of which is always on my mind, is cybersecurity. Moving to the cloud platform allows the responsibility of hosting data and hosting BSNA, which we currently do in-house at MS. It moves it to the responsibility and the liability of BSNA as a company. So if there's a cyber attack, they are responsible for our data. In terms of accessibility and ease of use, it moves the system to a browser-based function instead of a desktop-based functionality, which allows for simplified workflows, allows for our users in the field to have more real-time data come across to city staff. Overall, it just provides a better experience overall for our city staff. Also, near and dear to my heart, disaster recovery and reliability of the system, meaning the uptime of the system, and in case of a major event, the idea that we have redundant backups multiple times a day from BSNA through 2 US data centers in which they're able to bring our system back up. We currently have that now as well with the desktop version, but again, this gives the responsibility to BSNA and takes it off of our plate. In terms of data cohesion, internal staff will have the ability to collaborate better with data. Right now, there's a bit of a disconnect with the different modules. They don't all speak together as well as they could. For instance, our utility billing module, whenever there's a transfer tax address update, owner update, that information gets entered into the utility billing module, but doesn't automatically then communicate to like the building permitting module or any of the other licensing related modules. And so this allows that data cohesion to really shine. And then from a customer experience standpoint, residents will have a new customer portal where they'll be able to pay utility bills, or contractors will be able to get in there for business or for licensing, for building permitting, things like that. Timeline-wise, this is a little bit new compared to the last time that we talked about it, but I wanted to show you all what the current plan would be. Currently, in May and June would be this meeting, the potential approval of this, as well as the actual contract discussions to have with BSNA to get that signed and processed. The majority of the summer and going into early fall would represent internal staff's efforts to do some data cleanup and consolidation in preparation for the migration. We would be speaking with other local municipalities and talking to them about pain points that they may have had during the upgrade to try and avoid those when we do set upgrade. And the reason that there's a delay between contractual signing and actually starting on implementation is that there's about a 6-month backlog of when we can begin the implementation from BSNA's standpoint. So we're going to utilize that time to really button up our data and make sure that we can hit the ground running in the fall. November would be the slated start point for the implementation. And when we would start that conversion, that would be all on BSNA's side, where they would take our current structure and move it to the cloud-based structure. And then late winter, early spring would represent where we would do testing, user testing with all groups, and training with all groups as well. Again, this touches all staff, so it's all hands on deck. It's everyone would be involved in that. I did list the financials up here. It's also in your packet as well as the requested action here, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Anybody have any comments or questions for Cameron? Yes, Alderman Levert.
Thank you, Cameron. I noticed that you didn't go out to bid or source competitive pricing, and you referenced an administrative directive. Can you share a little bit how that works and how you chose to move forward?
Sure, absolutely. In this space, when we did this in 2018, there were really only 2 options at the time, and those options have grown a little bit over the past couple of years, but in this space, BSNA is it for our size municipality. It represents the only software that exists for our size and support for the city. In terms of upgrading to cloud, it was a natural fit for us to move from their desktop version to the cloud. It's just, we're very happy with what they've done, and it's just, in terms of sole source, it's the only software that can provide what we currently have today, but at an increased functionality.
Any other questions? Alderman.
Yes. So does our current system have customized workflows that need to be rescripted for the cloud-based platform? And what will be the impact on staff time and so forth to execute that?
Yeah, absolutely. Those workflows are part of the actual conversion that, yes, you're correct. We do have many customized workflows, mostly in the community development department. And part of the analysis that BSNA will do on the current setup is they'll see what those workflows are, and they will do that conversion for us and then show us the difference between the two as those different work groups are trained on the new system.
So in terms of staff, impact on staff time and
just training.
Just training.
Yeah, staff does not have to redo the workflows themselves. That's something that BSNA would do.
Okay, thank you. And then one last question, Mr. Mayor. So from a council perspective, if we talk about improved efficiency, responsiveness, and enhanced customer service from the customer, from the community, but from a council, what advantages can we anticipate from this new system?
I think the greatest advantage from your perspective really is the security and liability piece. I've talked to you all about the idea of increased ransomware insurance, right? We've had those conversations before, and this really represents a key component of that. We've talked about increasing the idea of having increased insurance with IRMA before. This, like I said, puts the liability onto BSNA if we have a major ransomware attack. We're not then responsible for that, BSNA is, and I think that that's where the greatest outcome for you all really presents itself.
And so I'm surprised you didn't bring up like budgeting, the budgeting process, because that's we're integral as approving your budgets and so forth. So can you maybe comment a little bit how the new system might enhance our ability to to be stewards, financial stewards?
Absolutely. From a budgeting perspective, we utilize a few different softwares outside of BSNA as well for budgeting, and then we end up entering that, all departments end up entering that into the budgeting system for BSNA into GL, the general ledger. Where we get hung up on, and I'll use myself as an example from a budgeting standpoint, is that we utilize a lot of side spreadsheets for a lot of different reportings, a lot of different things that the current system for BSNA can't really do efficiently and well and fast. It has the ability to do it, just not at the speed that we've learned to adapt to. And so for us, I think it allows us to give you all better transparency into what we're doing with budgeting, producing reports and dashboards and things for you all to see as we go through that process, especially in the fall.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Other comments or questions? All right. Is there anybody in the public that would like to comment on this matter? Okay, seeing none. At this time, I'd ask for a motion to approve and execute an agreement for migration to BSNA Cloud Enterprise Resource Planning System in the amount of $169,785.
So moved.
Is there a second? Second. This will be a roll call vote.
Alderman Kerr.
Was that, I'm sorry, couldn't hear.
Alderman Kerr, your
Aye.
vote. Yep. Alderman Levert.
Aye.
Alderman Bothfeld.
Aye.
Alderman Walther.
Aye.
Alderman Culbertson.
Aye.
Alderman Novit.
Aye.
Alderman Clements.
Aye.
Alderman Powers.
Aye.
8 yea, 0 nay, motion carries.
Okay, thank you, Cameron.
Thank you.
All right, the next item on the agenda is additional item for discussion or comments by council members. Alderman Levert has an item that she would like to present to us this evening by Director of Communications, Dana.
Yes, please, and thank you. Tonight, I'd like to introduce a new idea to City Council regarding a challenge coin. And the logic behind the challenge coin is this. It's a nice way for us to recognize residents, volunteers, and members of our community who make a meaningful contribution to our city of Lake Forest. It's designed to highlight quiet, behind-the-scenes efforts that really go unrecognized, but have a significant impact, small or large, on our community. It would be a token of our appreciation, and it would be 3 categories: service, community, or kindness. We hope it would reflect civic pride in our community. And again, it's not meant to be a formal recognition where somebody comes up here before City Council with a proclamation and, you know, a formal recognition program, but rather a token of appreciation. Challenge coins are currently used by military, police and fire, and other groups. And they're supposed to be a personal recognition and something to kind of be memorable. As city council members, we'd all receive the opportunity to nominate people for these. And if it's agreeable to everyone, we would then direct staff to come up with guidelines while maintaining flexibility for us to develop the program and execute it as we feel appropriate. Does anyone have any questions?
Alderman Powers.
Thank you, Alderman Levert. I think it's a great idea, especially with all the craziness that goes on in this world and negativity. And we all know and have experienced it firsthand, whether it's just good customer service or it's somebody on the staff that does a phenomenal job, being able to recognize that additional effort in this very unique kind of Lake Forest-esque way, I think is fantastic. So, Alice, thanks for coming up with it and investing the time to present it to us.
Thanks, John.
Other comments? Yes, Alderman Kerr.
Alderman Levert, when my daughter was at Sheridan, each month the school would have a particular virtue that they would instill in the children. And then when my kids were at DPM, they had the Star Awards, where teachers and others would note particular actions that were out of the ordinary. What is going on currently in the schools, and how would that interact, would this be meant for children as well as grown-ups?
Well, to be determined, it could be, but it's more community-oriented, not school-oriented. If you see somebody in the community who does something that is, again, in terms of service or kindness or something that improves the day, the moment, and makes our town better, something as simply as somebody going out of their way to help someone in need to cross the street, or again, it could be in any way you see fit, but it's not meant for the schools. It's meant for the overall community.
Thank you.
Yes?
Two comments. One, when I see challenge, I think of challenge, I don't get the sense of gratitude. And I'm just wondering if you thought of other names. I know you said the military uses challenge coin, but when you first mentioned it to me, I'm going, why a challenge? So that's the first comment. The second thing was, you said that there wouldn't be recognition, but isn't it possible that we could put on the city website, here are some people this month who received a coin for some good deed that they did with service, community, and kindness?
So 2 good points, and absolutely. Again, this is the introduction. Yeah. Possibly changing the word challenge to community, or another word would be probably more appropriate. It's just the concept began from the challenge coin idea. So thank you. I agree with you on that. The other point of recognition, there will be additional recognition. The thought at the moment would be to provide the coin to the individual, and then we would obviously get the individual's name, and once a month or once a quarter publish the list of people who were recognized, but to be determined what the best form of communication to do so will be. But yes, agreed.
Okay. Alderman Walther.
Just iterate my support, and I look forward to the staff's recommendations for how we would execute.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Others?
Ditto. I think it's a great idea. I love the idea of having just a positive statement to somebody unexpectedly and have it just be kind of a tap on the back, just a good job. And I love it. It's great. Thanks, Alice.
Others? Just a question. Okay.
Is there a cost associated with the coins for our budgeting purposes?
Yes. The coins have a nominal cost, approximately $8 a coin. But we can fine-tune that based upon the parameters for the program as it progresses.
Okay. Thank you.
Point of reference, that's 80% of my annual salary. Okay.
Are you willing to donate your annual salary to the challenge coin?
I'll buy one, yes. Are there other comments or questions? No. It sounds like there's a general consensus that this is a program worth looking into. So I guess I would instruct Alderman LaVert and staff to create a more detailed outline of what the program would be, costs, guidelines, et cetera, and we can, once that's done, we can come back and have a final discussion at the council at a future date.
Okay, is that something that we need to vote on in the future, or is it just a direction for staff to pursue the program? What is the proper process from?
Sure. The short answer is it depends. Certainly the cost of the program would fall well underneath the council's authority. A question on the development of criteria or guidelines for eligibility, that can certainly be done at just an administrative directive level. We would want to make sure that we're getting input from the council to make sure there's comfort with it. So my immediate reaction is we may develop some guidelines, send it out to the group. If it turns out it looks like it's something that's going to merit discussion and there are some conflicting opinions, then we would probably bring it back for a full discussion at a future meeting. But if there does seem to be consensus around the initial guidelines or criteria that are developed, then I think it can be approved administratively.
Thank you.
Very good. Yes, sir.
In terms of the ones you've seen, what size are we talking about? Is this a picture you carry it, so a silver dollar? Silver dollar.
Silver dollar size.
Okay.
Yes. Welcome.
Thank you. Just one concern I might have with respect to the issuance of these coins is the quantity and how frequently they're distributed. I'm not sure we'd really want to dilute the value of these things over time by giving them away like candy. So I'd be very interested in seeing what kind of guidelines come out of the staff's exploration of this subject.
Sure. And I think, as the city manager mentioned, we will get the guidelines that are developed out to everybody for commentary. We don't want to make too big of a deal out of it. On the other hand, for these to be meaningful, they should be limited. So I think there's general consensus. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. We will move on to the next item. And at this time, we're going to ask for a motion to adjourn into executive session pursuant to 5 ILCS 120/2C2. City Council will be discussing collective bargaining. There will be no further business following the executive session. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
This will be a roll call vote.
Alderman Levert.
Aye.
Rothwell.
Aye.
Alderman Walder.
Aye.
Alderman Culbertson.
Aye.
Alderman Novit.
Aye.
Alderman Clemmons.
Aye.
Alderman Powers.
Aye.
Alderman Kerr.
Aye.
8 yeas, 0 nay, motion carries.
Excellent. We are adjourned into executive